Welcome to my recipe video for vegan chicken wings. Today is April 4th, 2020. Need I say more for whoever is watching this and whenever you're watching this? That is the date. This recipe was inspired by the Chick-fil-A edgeveg.com recipe, but I modified it a little bit with different ingredients and whatnot. But everything you see here is what's going to go into it, and let's get started. So step one, we'll add our vital wheat gluten. Typical recipe calls for 1 cup, but we're going to double it up and then go to 2 cups.
Bowl. Okay, 2 cups.
Next we'll add a teaspoon of salt. This is Himalayan pink salt. Next we'll use 4 tablespoons of nutritional yeast. This kind of gives it a cheesy flavor. Maybe not cheesy is the right word in this situation, but it can be used as a cheesy substitute. Next will be a teaspoon of onion powder. A little extra. And next will be a teaspoon of poultry seasoning, but I'll put a little bit extra in. So we'll give that a nice mix.
I'm wearing gloves every day too, so extra deep.
Once we have our dry ingredients mixed, I'm gonna move this bowl aside. Grab another bowl. And to this, we're gonna add our wet mixture, which is 4 tablespoons of tahini.
So roughly 4 tablespoons of tahini into our big bowl.
Close enough. 2-hour tahini, we're gonna add, this is 1.5 cups of vegetable broth. So just add it in. And whisk that together.
Combine. Once that's pretty mixed,
We're gonna add our dry ingredients to this. Dry bowl, add to the wet. And it's already kind of starting to smell like chicken. So it's gonna be pretty hot, but mix it up with your hands. Just kind of like a pizza dough. Ah, it's really hot. Ow.
that was boiling water, so maybe wait for it to cool a bit. So keep mixing until, kind of knead it like a pizza dough. So I'll get all the extra flour and vital wheat gluten and the smell, but kneading it like this is what gives it the texture and consistency of real chicken. And the nutritional yeast gives it that
Color, a little bit of yellow. See better on this camera, a little bit of yellow. Next, we're gonna preheat the oven to 350. Okay, so this is where you are going to form your chicken wings or your chicken patties. I'm gonna make 2 patties and the rest are gonna be chicken wings. Simply just break off a piece, however big you want your wing or patty, and then you put it in a casserole tray. And these will double in size once they're cooking. So if you want to make your wings that big, it's no big deal because that'll increase to the size of a regular chicken wing. And I'm just gonna place them in this casserole dish one by one. All my wings have been formed. I've got my 2 patties in here. And next, you're gonna cover the chicken in vegetable broth and then put them in the oven. Yeah, so it's pretty covered. So we have a preheated oven at 350 degrees. Put the chicken in there for 45 minutes and then flip them and then another 15 minutes. Okay, so 45 minutes, just about up. Take a look inside this oven. These out of the oven after 45 minutes, and you can see that they kind of double in, maybe not double, but they definitely increase in size. So I'm gonna flip all of these. Well, okay, so just continue with the flipping. Good enough. Back in for another 15 minutes.
One.
Okay, so 1 hour is up. We're gonna take the food out of the oven. Bring that camera in. So you can see the vegetable broth has been absorbed into the chicken. So next we're gonna make the dry and the wet mix for the deep fry. The first ingredient is 4 cups of all-purpose flour. So you know, I'll do 3 cups. Next thing, look at them.
Winston wants to help.
Okay, next you take your cat,
Sean!
stick them in.
Sean! Buddy, what? Oh, you're so cute.
So next, 2/3 of a cup of icing sugar. Next is 6 teaspoons of smoked paprika. Well, rough teaspoons.
For one, that's a tablespoon.
Is this a tablespoon?
Yeah.
Maybe you can't talk.
Okay.
Next, we'll just add some black pepper. You can kind of eyeball this. Salt. Next ingredient is chili powder. We're gonna need 2 teaspoons of this.
I just dumped the whole bag in.
Yeah. Next ingredient is baking powder. 2 teaspoons of this. And finally, 2 teaspoons of garlic powder. Go. Okay, so dry mix is prepared. Next we're gonna make the wet mix. And this is gonna be a combination of pickle juice and unsweetened soy milk. And I don't have much pickle juice in here, so I'm gonna improvise a bit, but if you're making this at home, just use pure pickle juice. And what's left in there, those are just pieces of garlic, so it's fine. Add in some vinegar. And a 1.5 cups of unsweetened soy milk. Mix up your dry. We have our chicken, our dry ingredients or wet ingredients, and our final plate. So simply take your chicken wing, drop it in the dry ingredients, coat it, drop it in the wet. I like to use one hand for this. I like to have a wet hand and a dry hand for this. So take it from the wet back into your dry, recoat it, make sure it covers everything, and that's it. And you can do obviously more than one at once, so I forget which hand was which now.
That's your dry hand. No, that's your wet hand.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a 5 in here. Toss them, give them an initial coating. Do the wet. Saturate it. Then back into the dry. Reapply the dry.
Dip, 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 dip. So once you've applied the dry and the wet mix to your chicken, heat up some peanut oil. I ran out of peanut oil midway through, so I switched to canola oil and peanut oil. We'll fry them up.
Yeah, Brian, thank you for that.
So you're kind of looking for a nice bubble like that.
And yeah, these really only take anywhere from 2 to 3 minutes per side. Once you see it start to get a little bit brown on the bottom, go ahead and push it. Let that cook down for a bit.
So it's been about 3 minutes. I'm gonna flip these.
That's what you're kind of looking for, a nice sort of kind of dark brown, gold. Yeah. These are really good once they're done.
Okay, just finished frying. Got our 2 patties on top. Next step is to sauce them up. So over here, just melting some butter, some vegan earth balance butter. And I've got this lemon pepper seasoning from Savon. And I don't really know how to make lemon pepper sauce. I just kind of melted about a tablespoon of that vegan butter and I'm just kind of eyeballing some seasoning. And I'm gonna toss this in. Just add a bit of water it down a little bit. Got 3 bowls here. Got that Stubbs barbecue sauce, Frank's Red Hot, and the lemon pepper. So let's pour them on. Hot.
There it is. Okay, there we go.
Oh!
That's good.
That's it.
Just like that.
So